The 1950s are a paradox. The world is rebuilding from the ashes of World War II, its pulse quickening with ambition. In Japan, the economic miracle is a marvel. Factories churn out electronics, cars and steel, while cities like Tokyo and Osaka pulse with neon and noise. But behind the progress lies a hidden cost. The nation's blue-collar workers, factory hands, truck drivers, dock workers, are stretched to their limits. Long hours, relentless quotas, and the pressure to keep Japan's miracle alive demand more than human endurance can offer. Their secret weapon? Amphetamines. These little pills, legal and cheap, are the jet fuel of the era. Workers pop them to stay sharp, to power through 12-hour shifts, to keep the gears of industry turning. Across the Pacific, America is equally hooked. From Detroit's auto plants to Manhattan's bustling offices, amphetamines are prescribed for everything from fatigue to depression. They're as ubiquitous as a pack of Lucky Strikes, handed out by doctors with a wink and a smile. But in Japan, the government is growing uneasy. A nation wired on stimulants might be productive, but it's a house of cards. Addiction rates are climbing. Emergency rooms report overdoses. Productivity is one thing, a doped-up population is a crisis waiting to happen. By the late 1950s, Japan's lawmakers decide to act. They pass a series of draconian laws banning the sale and distribution of amphetamines and other stimulant drugs. Overnight, the nation's crutch is yanked away. The fallout is seismic. Picture Hiroshi Tanaka, a wiry factory worker in Tokyo, standing at his assembly line clutching an empty pill bottle. His eyes are bloodshot, his hands shaky, not from nerves, but from withdrawal. He's got 10 hours left in his shift, and the thought of making it through without his little helpers feels like climbing Mount Fuji in flip-flops. In Osaka, Kenji Sato, a long-haul truck driver, slumps over his steering wheel, staring at the endless highway. "How am I supposed to stay awake?" he mutters, rubbing his temples. In the streets, office clerks shuffle like ghosts, their usual spark extinguished. It's as if the government banned coffee today. Imagine the riots, the hashtags, the sheer pandemonium. People would die. Hiroshi tells his coworker, only half joking. They'd burn the Diet building down. Japan is on the brink of a national meltdown. The government's intentions were noble, protect public health, curb addiction. But they've miscalculated the human toll. Workers are desperate, employers are frantic, and the nation's economic engine is sputtering. The question echoes from Hokkaido to Kyushu, what now? Unbeknownst to the weary masses, a savior is stirring. Not a politician or a prophet, but a pharmaceutical company with a wild, world-changing idea. In Tokyo's bustling Chuo district, Taisho Pharmaceuticals stands as a beacon of innovation. Founded in 1912, the company has spent decades crafting medicines and tonics, earning a reputation for bold ideas and relentless ambition. By 1962, its labs are a hive of activity, a labyrinth of bubbling beakers and whirring machines. The stimulant ban has created a vacuum, and Taisho's executives see a golden opportunity. If Japan's workers can't rely on amphetamines, they'll need a legal alternative, a safe, effective way to stay energized. But how? At the heart of Taisho's mission is Dr. Kenzo Nakamura, a chemist whose brilliance is matched only by his eccentricity. Nakamura is a walking contradiction, a chain-smoking workaholic who writes haiku in his lab notebook, a scientist who believes in the poetry of the body's chemistry. He's spent years studying how humans generate energy, convinced that nature holds the key. "Pills are a crutch," he tells his team, pacing the lab with a cigarette dangling from his lips. "The body already has what it needs. We just have to unlock it." The drink is a strange beast. Housed in tiny amber glass bottles, 100 milliliters, the size of a shot of shochu, Leovitan D looks like it belongs in a hospital, not a vending machine. The taste is an acquired one. Imagine cough syrup with a citrus tang and a metallic aftertaste that lingers like a bad decision. The smell is sharp, chemical, like a dentist's office. Even the name screams medicine, Leovitan D, derived from lipid for metabolism and vitamin for vitality. Taisho's marketing team leans into the clinical vibe, claiming the drink can cure physical fatigue, lack of appetite, nutritional deficiency, fever, and exhaustion. It's a bold pitch, bordering on audacious, for a bottle smaller than a can of soda. Taisho targets Japan's beleaguered workforce, factory workers like Hiroshi, hunched over assembly lines, truck drivers like Kenji, battling endless highways, office clerks drowning in paperwork. The pitch is simple. Leovitan D is your new lifeline. It's legal, it's safe, and it'll keep you going when the world demands too much. But there's a catch. The drink's success hinges on belief. Taurine's energy-boosting claims are shaky. Many scientists argue it's little more than a buzzword, but Taisho knows perception is king. They launch a blitz of advertising, flooding radio waves with jingles that promise the spark of life. Billboards spring up, showing smiling workers glowing with vitality. Pharmacies and corner shops stack the bottles high, their amber glow a beacon of hope. Hiroshi Tanaka is skeptical when he first sees Leovitan D at his local shop. A drink? He scoffs to Kenji over a bowl of ramen, his chopsticks hovering midair. What's next, magic beans? Kenji, nursing a hangover from a late-night pachinko binge, shrugs. Beats falling asleep on the job. My boss is already on my case. They buy a couple of bottles, more out of desperation than faith. The first sip is a shock. Tastes like medicine, Hiroshi grimaces, wiping his mouth. Smells like a hospital, Kenji adds, but he downs it anyway. By the end of their shifts, they're believers. Hiroshi churns through his quota without a yawn. Kenji makes it to Nagoya without nodding off. Word spreads like a summer wildfire. Leovitan D becomes Japan's salvation. By 1963, it's a cultural juggernaut, chugged by millions daily. Vending machines sprout on every corner, their amber bottles glowing like tiny suns. Salarymen slug it during lunch breaks. Factory workers keep it in their lockers. Students cram with it late into the night. Taisho's gamble pays off, and Leovitan D carves out a new category, the energy drink. But its rise sparks debates that ripple far beyond Japan's shores. As Leovitan D conquers Japan, a storm is brewing in the scientific community. At the heart of the drink's success is taurine, the amino acid Taisho touts as a natural energy booster. But what does the science actually say? In the early 1960s, taurine is a niche topic, studied mainly for its role in bioproduction and heart health. Some researchers, like Dr. Hiroshi Yamamoto at Kyoto University, argue it enhances mitochondrial function, helping cells produce energy more efficiently. Taurine is a catalyst, Yamamoto writes in a 1961 paper, a key to unlocking the body's latent potential. But not everyone is convinced. Dr. Akiko Mori, a biochemist at the University of Tokyo, is a vocal skeptic. In a 1963 symposium, she delivers a scathing critique. There's no conclusive evidence that taurine boosts energy in healthy adults, she declares, her voice cutting through the room. Taisho's claims are speculative at best, marketing at worst. Mori points to studies showing taurine's effects are negligible in people with normal diets, as the body already produces enough of the amino acid. She accuses Taisho of exploiting the stimulant ban, selling hope in a bottle with little substance to back it up. The debate spills into the public sphere. Newspapers run headlines like, "Is Leovitan D a miracle or a myth?" Talk shows pit scientists against Taisho executives, who dodge questions with polished smiles. Our product is rigorously tested, a Taisho spokesperson insists on a 1964 broadcast, sidestepping Mori's data. Millions of Japanese trust Leovitan D to get them through their day. The public, weary from the stimulant ban, doesn't care about p-values or placebo effects. They feel the drink working, whether it's the taurine, the caffeine, or sheer belief. Sales soar, and Taisho laughs all the way to the bank. The taurine debate exposes a broader tension, science versus perception. Energy drinks thrive on the promise of vitality, but their ingredients often straddle the line between fact and folklore. Caffeine, the real workhorse in Leovitan D, is well understood. It blocks adenosine receptors, keeping the brain alert, but its effects are temporary and come with crashes. Taurine, by contrast, is a wild card, a symbol of the industry's knack for turning ambiguity into profit. As Leovitan D reshapes Japan's culture, it sets the stage for a global revolution, one that will face even fiercer scrutiny. The rise of Leovitan D isn't just a commercial success, it's a cultural earthquake. In Japan, where work is a religion and exhaustion a badge of honor, the drink becomes a symbol of resilience. By 1965, it's woven into the fabric of daily life. Salarymen carry bottles in their briefcases, sipping them on crowded trains. Factory workers share them during breaks, their laughter punctuated by the clink of glass. Even housewives, juggling childcare and chores, discover its kick, sneaking sips while cooking dinner. But not everyone embraces the new normal. Older generations, raised on green tea in moderation, view Leovitan D with suspicion. "It's unnatural," grumbles Hiroshi's father, a retired carpenter, as he sips his sake. "In my day, we worked hard without potions." Younger workers, however, see it as a lifeline. "The world's different now," Hiroshi tells his father, cracking open a bottle. "You try keeping up with a machine." The generational divide mirrors broader anxieties about Japan's rapid modernization. Progress comes at a cost, and Leovitan D is both a symptom and a solution. The drink also sparks a moral panic. In 1964, a Tokyo high school bans Leovitan D, after students are caught chugging it before exams. It's a gateway to dependency, warns the principal, echoing fears once aimed at amphetamines. Parents fret that their kids are trading sleep for artificial energy, a concern that hits home for Kenji Sato. His teenage daughter, Aiko, starts sneaking bottles to stay awake for cram school. It's just like coffee, Dad, she insists, but Kenji isn't so sure. He's seen what withdrawal looks like, and the parallels are eerie. Media amplifies the debate. Tabloids run scare stories about energy drink addiction, citing rare cases of heart palpitations linked to overconsumption. A 1966 article in Asahi Shimbun quotes a cardiologist warning, "Caffeine in excess is a strain on the heart, especially for the young." Taisho counters with glossy ads, emphasizing safety and moderation. "One bottle a day keeps fatigue at bay." Their slogan chirps. The public, caught between fear and necessity, keeps buying. By the late 1960s, Leovitan D is Japan's top-selling tonic, with annual sales topping 100 million bottles. The cultural impact extends beyond consumption. Leovitan D inspires a wave of imitators, drinks like Ornament C and Real Gold, each claiming to boost energy with their own blend of vitamins and buzzwords. Ornament C, launched by Otsuka Corporation in 1965, markets itself as a vitamin bomb, with a sweeter, fruitier taste that appeals to younger consumers. Real Gold, introduced by Coca-Cola Japan in 1968, leans on the global brand's clout, promising golden energy in a bright yellow can. These rivals nibble at Taisho's market share, but Leovitan D remains king, its amber bottles a fixture of Japanese life. As Japan's energy drink craze takes root, a parallel story is unfolding thousands of miles away in the steamy markets of Thailand. Here, another visionary is about to ignite a revolution, one that will eclipse even Taisho's triumph. The air hums with cicadas and the scent of ripe mangoes. It's the late 1920s, or maybe the early 30s. Records are as murky as the Mekong River. Here, WWII is born to Chinese immigrant parents who eke out a living selling fruit and raising. The Uvidias are poor but proud, their days filled with back-breaking work. Young Chaleo grows up hauling crates of pomelos to the market, feeding ducks at dawn, and dreaming of a life beyond the village. School is a distant fantasy, but Chaleo has a sharper tool, ambition. He's got a fire in his belly, a hunger for more. As a teenager, Chaleo is a natural hustler. He's the kid who can sell you a basket of bruised bananas and make you feel like you've struck gold. His charm is infectious, his work ethic ferocious. By his early 22s, he's ready to escape the village. He kisses his parents goodbye, packs a single bag and heads to Bangkok, Thailand's electric capital. It's the 1950s, and Bangkok is a city of contrasts. Golden temples gleam beside shanty towns. Street vendors hawk fiery somtam next to shiny new offices. Chaleo dives in, taking odd jobs, sweeping floors, running errands, before landing a gig as a salesman for a pharmaceutical. Picture Chaleo, now in his late 22s, striding through Bangkok's humid streets in a crisp white shirt, a battered briefcase swinging at his side. He's selling antibiotics, knocking on doctors' doors, charming pharmacists with his quick wit and easy smile. It's grueling, but Chaleo thrives. He learns the art of the pitch, the power of a good story. He also sees a gap in the market. Thailand's workers, street vendors, factory hands, tuk-tuk drivers, are exhausted, stretched thin by long hours and scorching heat. They need energy, not just medicine. Chaleo files the thought away, a seed waiting to sprout. In the early 1960s, Chaleo takes a leap. He scrapes together every baht he's saved and founds TC Pharmaceuticals, a shoestring operation run out of a cramped office above a noodle shop. He starts small, producing generic medicines and health tonics, but his mind is on Japan's Leovitan D. The drink's success is making waves, and Chaleo sees a similar need in Thailand. Workers here don't face a stimulant ban, but they're just as weary. He starts experimenting, mixing ingredients in his tiny lab, dreaming of a drink that's more than a tonic, a drink that's a spark, a symbol, a way of life. By 1975, Chaleo is in his 52s, weathered but undaunted. He's got a wife, kids, and a company that's scraping by. Then, one night, inspiration strikes. Chaleo later claims it was divine intervention, a vision from the heavens. Picture him on his porch, the air heavy with jasmine, a glass of rice whiskey in hand. The stars burn bright, the cicadas sing, and suddenly it hits him, an energy drink for Thailand's everyday heroes. The vendors, the drivers, the workers who keep the nation running. He leaps up, knocking over his glass, and rushes to his lab. The revolution is coming, and it's got hooves. Chaleo's formula is simple but potent: water, sugar, caffeine, taurine, and B vitamins. He tweaks the ratios, tasting each batch himself, grimacing at the early versions. Too sweet, he mutters, or too medicinal. He wants it refreshing, something you'd crave on a sweltering afternoon. But the drink is only half the equation. Chaleo knows branding is everything. Leovitan D's clinical packaging works in Japan, but Thailand demands something bolder. He sketches ideas late into the night, doodling on napkins, until he lands on a masterpiece: 2 bulls charging head-on, set against a blazing yellow sun. The bulls symbolize strength, the red color tenacity, the sun vitality. It's primal, unforgettable, a visual roar. He names the drink Krating Dang, Thai for Red Bull. The name is a gamble. Bulls are fierce, not cuddly, but Chaleo trusts his gut. He packages it in sleek silver cans and amber bottles, designed to catch the eye. In 1976, Krating Dang hits the market, sold in pharmacies, corner shops, and roadside stalls. Chaleo's marketing is scrappy but brilliant. He hires local artists to paint murals of the charging bulls on shop walls. He hands out free samples at night markets, grinning as workers take their first sips. "Feel the power," he tells them, and they. Thailand goes wild. Construction workers chug Krating Dang during breaks, the cans glinting in the sun. Night market vendors keep stacks under their carts, sipping between customers. Students call it liquid courage, slamming it before exams. Within a year, Krating Dang is a sensation, outselling every other tonic in Thailand. TC Pharmaceuticals is no longer a small-time outfit, and Chaleo is a local hero, but for now, his bulls charge only in Thailand, a regional legend echoing Leovitan D's triumph. The world stage awaits, until a toothpaste salesman from Austria crashes the party. It's 1984, and Dietrich Matschitz is stuck in a rut. At 40, he's a marketing executive for Blendax, a German cosmetics company, jetting around the world to sell toothpaste. Toothpaste. It's not exactly the stuff of legends. But Dietrich is no ordinary. He's sharp, restless, with a knack for reading markets and a wardrobe of tailored suits that scream ambition. Still, selling dental hygiene feels like a dead end. There's got to be more, he mutters on long flights, staring at the clouds. In the summer of '84, Dietrich lands in Bangkok, tasked with a mission: figure out how to market Blendax toothpaste in Thailand. It's a tough sell. Thailand's market is crowded, and toothpaste isn't a status symbol. Plus, he's jet-lagged to hell. The 15-hour flight from Vienna has left him foggy, his eyes heavy, his brain screaming for a nap. He steps off the plane into Bangkok's humid chaos, the air thick with street food and exhaust. He's got a meeting in 2 hours, and he's barely functional. Fate intervenes. At a roadside stall, a vendor tosses him a silver can. "You look tired, Farang," the man says, using the Thai word for foreigner. "Try this." Dietrich squints at the label, Krating Dang. The charging bulls stare back, fierce and unyielding. He's skeptical. Energy drinks aren't a thing in Europe. But he's desperate. He cracks the can, takes a sip, and boom. It's like a lightning bolt to the soul. The fog lifts, his heart races, his mind sharpens. By the time he reaches his hotel, he's buzzing, practically vibrating. What is this stuff? He marvels, turning the can over in his hands. Dietrich's toothpaste meeting goes fine, but his mind is elsewhere. He's obsessed with Krating Dang. He buys a dozen cans, chugging them over the next few days. Each one is a revelation. This isn't just a drink, he tells a colleague over dinner, waving a can like a mad prophet. This is the future. His colleague, chewing on pad thai, thinks he's lost it, but Dietrich knows better. He's tasted destiny. Back at his hotel, Dietrich digs into Krating Dang's origins. He learns about WWII, the Thai entrepreneur behind the drink. He tracks down TC Pharmaceuticals and, with charm and persistence, secures a meeting. Picture the scene: a modest office in Bangkok, the air thick with cigarette smoke and the hum of a rickety fan. Chaleo, now in his late 50s, sits behind a cluttered desk, his eyes sharp and curious. Dietrich, in a crisp suit despite the heat, leans forward, his voice electric. "Mr. Leovitan," he says, "your drink is incredible, but it's bigger than Thailand. It could conquer the world." Chaleo listens, intrigued but cautious. He's heard pitches before, and foreigners don't always understand Thailand's market. But Dietrich is different. He's a visionary, not just a salesman. He paints a picture of Krating Dang in Europe, America, beyond. Sold in sleek cans, marketed to the young, the bold, the ambitious. "We'll make it a lifestyle," Dietrich says. "Not just a drink, but a symbol. We'll make millions." Chaleo, who's built his empire on gut instinct, feels a spark. He likes this Austrian, He trusts him. The two spend hours talking, sketching ideas on napkins, laughing over glasses of Krating Dung. By the end, they've hatched a plan. They'll form Red Bull GmbH to bring the drink to the West. Each invests $500,000, a fortune for both, splitting ownership 49% each, with 2% for Chaleo's son, Schelerm. They shake hands, sealing a partnership that will reshape the beverage industry. Dietrich flies back to Austria, a man possessed. Chaleo stays in Bangkok, quietly confident that his bulls are about to charge into history. Dietrich sets up shop in Fuschel am See, a picturesque Austrian town by a lake. He assembles a team, chemists, marketers, designers, to reformulate Krating Dung for Western tastes. The core stays: caffeine, taurine, B vitamins, sugar, water. But Dietrich knows Europeans won't go for the syrupy Thai original. He dials back the sugar, adds carbonation for a crisp fizz, and tweaks the flavor for a cleaner, less medicinal taste. The result is bold, sharp, tangy, electrifying, but polished, modern, universal. The branding is Dietrich's masterpiece. He keeps Chaleo's iconic logo, the charging bulls, the yellow sun, the red lettering. It's a visual gut punch, screaming power and rebellion. But Dietrich doesn't want Red Bull to be just another drink. He wants it to be a movement, a badge of identity. He rebrands it as a premium product, not for the masses but for the elite, thrill-seekers, trendsetters, the young and restless. The cans are small, 8 ounces, sleek and silver, and priced at a premium, double a Coke's cost. It's risky, but Dietrich knows exclusivity breeds desire. In 1987, Red Bull launches in Austria. Dietrich targets ski resorts, trendy nightclubs, and exclusive events, not supermarkets or dive bars. The message is clear: this isn't a beverage, it's a lifestyle. He sponsors extreme sports, snowboarding, cliff diving, BMX racing, aligning Red Bull with adrenaline and danger. He throws lavish parties, where Red Bull flows like champagne. Bartenders mix it with vodka, creating the Red Bull and vodka, a club staple that becomes a global phenomenon. Europe falls. Skiers chug Red Bull on the slopes feeling invincible. Club kids slam it to dance till dawn. Students stock it in dorm fridges, powering through all-nighters. By the early 90s, Red Bull spreads. Germany, the UK, Switzerland, Hungary. Dietrich's marketing is relentless. He sponsors air races, skateboarding comps, even a soapbox derby with outrageous carts. Red Bull becomes synonymous with pushing limits, living deleterious effects on health. Heart palpitations, anxiety, and in extreme cases heart attacks, are rare but real, especially with overconsumption. Competitors scramble to catch up. In Japan, Leovitan D faces homegrown rivals like Austrian C and Real Gold, but Taisho's dominance holds. In the US, the energy drink market is a chaotic battleground. Jolt Cola, launched in 1985, is the first to challenge Red Bull's vibe. Its slogan, all the sugar, twice the caffeine, with flavors like White Lightning grape-flavored confusingly and Citrus Climax. Jolt courts college kids and gamers but remains niche. Its aggressive branding, cans that look like batteries, can't match Red Bull's sleek mystique. In 1989, Pepsi tries to reinvent breakfast with Pepsi AM, a hyper-caffeinated soda meant to replace coffee. It's a disaster. Nobody wants soda with their eggs. A Pepsi exec laments as it flops within a year. Coca-Cola's Coca-Cola in the Morning campaign, urging people to drink Coke for breakfast, fares no better. Both misjudge the market. Energy drinks aren't about replacing coffee, they're about identity. By the 2000s, new players emerge. Monster Energy, launched in 2002 by Hansen Natural, goes hard for the extreme sports crowd, sponsoring motocross and UFC. Its black and green cans and edgy slogans, "Unleash the Beast," appeal to a grittier demographic than Red Bull's upscale vibe. Rockstar, also debuting in 2001, targets musicians and partygoers, with flavors like punched fruit punch and a heavy metal aesthetic. Both gain traction, but Red Bull's first-mover advantage and lifestyle branding keep it king. Smaller brands flood the market, each with a gimmick. 5-Hour Energy, a 2-ounce energy shot launched in 2004, promises no crash, targeting truck drivers and office workers. No S, named after nitrous oxide systems in cars, leans into auto racing culture. Full Throttle and Amp Energy vie for shelf space, but none crack Red Bull's cultural stranglehold. By 2010, the global energy drink market is worth $10 billion, with Red Bull commanding a 40% share. Red Bull's rise sparks a global culture war. In Europe, it's embraced as a symbol of youth and rebellion, mixed with vodka in clubs from Ibiza to Berlin, but health concerns mount. In 1999, France bans Red Bull, citing unproven safety of taurine. The ban lasts until 2008, fueling a black market for smuggled. In the UK, a 2001 study links energy drinks to heart palpitations in teens, prompting calls for age restrictions. Red Bull counters with studies showing moderate use is safe, but skepticism persists. In the US, Red Bull is a cultural lightning rod. College students chug it during Red Bull raves, all-night study parties. Extreme athletes, from skateboarders to skydivers, make it their fuel. But parents and schools push back. In 2004, a California high school bans energy drinks after a student collapses during gym class, blaming a Red Bull binge. The media amplifies fears, with Dateline running a 2006 special, Wings or Danger. Red Bull's response is defiant. Our product is safer than coffee, a spokesperson snaps. By 2025, the energy drink market is a $20 billion behemoth, with Red Bull still king. WWII, passing in 2012, leaves a legacy as Thailand's greatest entrepreneur. Dietrich Mateschitz, dying in 2022, is hailed as a marketing genius. Their creation sponsors everything from Formula One to space jumps, like Felix Baumgartner's 2012 Red Bull Stratos Leap. Leovitan D remains Japan's workhorse, while Monster and Rockstar chase Red Bull's tail. Hiroshi Tanaka, now retired, sips Leovitan D on his porch, reminiscing about the 60s. Kenji Sato's daughter, Aiko, now a doctor, warns against overconsumption but keeps Red Bull in her fridge. In Bangkok, Chaleo's son, Shalerm, steers TC Pharmaceuticals into new ventures. From Japan's stimulant ban to Thailand's markets to the global stage, the energy drink saga is one of grit, genius, and gumption. It's the story of Leovitan D, Krating Dang, and Red Bull, drinks that didn't just quench thirst but gave the world wings.